Question: why do people fantasize about immortality so much? Like, I get that death is generally a negative thing, but I'd argue immortality is even more horrifying in some ways. For the longest time, people have dreamed about living an endless life, and having infinite time to do whatever they want, and that's why I'm here today, to crush those blissful dreams. So without further ado, here's your fantasy ruined. What is the purpose of life? I promise this is relevant. Well, this might seem cheesy, but in my opinion, the meaning of life is finding the answer to that question. After all, everyone is different, and value different things in life. For a lot of people, their purpose is creating something, or leaving behind a legacy that would outlast them. Whether it's something tangible like a light bulb, or intangible like an idea, leaving behind proof of the life you've lived is a beautiful part of life, and a beautiful part of history. So when you strip away the finite aspect of a person's existence, in other words death, what you're left with is an infinite existence without substance. Now you might be thinking, well, I could just keep finding new goals to work for. I suppose you could do that, maybe pull an Orochimaru and use all that time to accomplish everything, but this in itself is also pointless. There's no real end to the journey. Whenever a quote-unquote lifelong goal is met, you just move on to the next. To be honest, I feel like there's hardly such thing as an accomplishment if you're immortal, as having infinite time to reach a goal sort of diminishes the value of the achievement, or at the very least, makes it harder to appreciate it. What I just said if you manage to cure world hunger though. Also, the end of life can be a pretty beautiful thing. I don't mean premature tragedies, I'm talking about the natural end to a person's lifespan. After they've lived their life to the fullest, old, and surrounded by loved ones and the family they built for themselves. It's still a sad thing, and I don't want to be insensitive, but it's something I've been feeling for the past while. Imagine this. You have a circle of close friends, and you've been through life together since the beginning. Now imagine literally all of those friends succumbing to their mortal fates, and passing away from old age, all while you remain in a state of stagnance, never to see them again. Now you could just make more friends to patch up the old existential wound, but nature will eventually take its course again. You would go on living while your children grow older than you and pass on. You and your partner will no longer relate and grow old together. You'll think you only lost your ability to die, but as it goes on, you'll lose so much more. Your humanity,
your mind, everything that made you who you once were. And before you know it, you're nothing but a lobotomite being strung around by your own cruel fate.
Oh wait, that's just Joe Biden. Can we just acknowledge that there must be some level of burden that comes with immortality? It can be easy for history to be misconstrued as time goes on, and generations of people pass. But immortals would be the constant for it all, and are bound to live through all sorts of different eras. I guess being immortal wouldn't make you the history book for the whole f***ing world, but you're bound to know some stuff if you literally have an infinite lifespan. They could probably mold future history as they pleased, or maybe I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. Alright, forget the existential questions, forget anything philosophical for just a moment. Being immortal is absolute hell. Trigger warning in 3, 2, 1. But what on God's blue ball are you supposed to do if you're in an inescapable torturous situation like slavery, because you sure as hell can't beat yourself anymore? In fact, scratch that scenario because now I'm curious. What if poison is injected into your bloodstream, or your heart stops? Or what if your body is literally hacked to pieces? Would you just remain in a permanent state of agony? Or would your body pull a Majin Buu and put itself back together? Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. I think that's about the right place to wrap this up. In general, I don't really understand the desire to never die anymore. It's that ingrained instinct to avoid death that not only helps our judgment, but it grounds us as people. But there's also the peace of mind you have knowing that no matter what you go through in life, it'll all be over eventually. Peacefully resting your eternal slumber. Unless you're the Cupcake Man, Monkey D. Hoofy, or anyone that supports them. In which case, f*** you and burn in hell. Bye now.